All right, let's jump right in. We're about to uncover the secret, high-tech identity of a metal you think you know really well. I want you to forget about jewelry, forget about old coins, because we're going to talk about why silver is quietly becoming one of the most critical materials for our future. Seriously, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Maybe some fancy silverware? A wedding ring? And you know, for most of human history, you'd be spot on. But today, wow, that's just a tiny sliver of the story. The real action, the important stuff, is happening at a microscopic level, inside the tech that is literally shaping our world.
So, let's pull back the curtain on silver's secret identity. You see, it's less of a precious metal these days and more of an industrial superhero. And like any good superhero, it's got some truly unique powers.
So here's what makes silver such a superstar in the tech world. It has the highest electrical conductivity of any metal on the planet. I mean, think about that. Nothing moves electrons better. It's also fantastic at transferring heat, and it doesn't corrode easily. And it's that combination that's the golden ticket, or I guess the silver ticket, for high-performance technology.
And what this all means is that these superpowers make silver absolutely essential. You just can't build the pillars of our modern world, we're talking green energy, we're talking AI, as efficiently or as effectively without it. It really is a next-generation metal.
So, let's do our first deep dive here, starting with the green energy transition, specifically solar power. Because believe it or not, every single time you see a solar panel, you are looking at a device that is fundamentally powered by silver.
The growth we've seen in solar has been, well, nothing short of explosive. In just the past 10 years, the world's solar power capacity has shot up by more than 10-fold. That is a staggering expansion, and silver is right at the heart of it.
But here's where things get really interesting. While solar capacity went up 10 times, the amount of silver needed to build all of it only went up 3 times. So what's going on? That doesn't quite add up, does it?
And that is the million-dollar question. The answer to this reveals this fascinating technological tug-of-war that's happening right now inside every single solar panel factory on the planet.
So you've got these two competing forces. On one side, you have what's called thrifting. Silver is expensive, right? So manufacturers are always looking for clever ways to use less of it in each solar cell. But on the other side, you have these new next-generation high-efficiency cells that are taking over the market. And these things, like TOPCon cells, actually need more silver to get that amazing performance. It's this constant battle between cost and efficiency.
But you know, no matter how that internal battle plays out, the big picture is totally clear. The International Energy Agency expects solar to be the #1 source of renewable power by 2030. So the key takeaway here is this. The whole future of solar is tied to this tension, ensuring a massive, sustained demand for silver for decades to come.
Okay, now let's shift gears, literally, and move on to the auto industry. Because we're not just changing how our cars are powered, we are fundamentally changing what they're made of.
This chart just lays it out perfectly. A typical gas-powered car needs about 20 grams of silver. But a battery electric vehicle? That number jumps to nearly 38 grams. We're talking about almost double the amount of silver for every single EV that rolls off the assembly line.
And here it is, the headline number. Just by switching from gas to electric, you boost the silver required by a whopping 67 to 79%. That is a huge leap in demand, and it's all because of the complex electronics, the battery systems, and all the power components that make an EV work.
Now, if we take a snapshot of today, traditional gas-powered cars still account for the biggest slice of the pie for silver demand, at about 55%. But look at EVs. They're already claiming a massive 30% chunk.
But watch this. We fast forward to 2031, and the picture completely flips on its head. Electric vehicles are projected to become the main source of silver demand, making up almost 60% of the total. This isn't just a gradual change, it's a complete takeover.
And remember, it's not just about what's inside the car. To support all these new EVs, we need a gigantic build-out of charging stations. And on top of that, all cars, EV or not, are getting smarter. More sensors, more cameras, bigger displays, all of which rely on silver's conductivity and reliability.
All right, on to our final stop, the digital revolution. You know, we talk about AI and the cloud like they're these magical, abstract ideas floating around in the air, but they are built on a very, very physical foundation. And a critical part of that foundation is silver.
It's actually a pretty simple chain of demand when you break it down. First, our use of AI and the cloud just explodes. That means we have to build a massive number of physical data centers.
Those data centers need incredibly powerful, specialized hardware. And that hardware, the chips, the processors, the connectors, is absolutely packed with silver-rich components to handle the intense workload.
Just look at this number. It's almost hard to wrap your head around. The power capacity needed for a global IT infrastructure is estimated to have grown over 5,000% in just 25 years. Every single watt of that increase represents more hardware, which, you guessed it, means more silver.
So why is silver the MVP here? Well, in the high-stakes world of AI, every nanosecond counts. Silver's unbeatable conductivity is used in the complex wiring of GPUs and other chips to move signals at lightning speed. It also acts like a super-efficient heat sink, pulling away the intense heat these processors create. It ensures the rock-solid reliability you need when you're managing the world's data.
So, when we pull all of this together, a totally new picture of silver starts to emerge. It's not some dusty relic of the past, it is a key ingredient for the future that we are all building right now.
And this really nails the main point. Whether we're talking about converting sunlight into electricity, enabling efficient power in our cars, or running the mind-bending calculations of AI, silver is the quiet, unassuming workhorse that's making it all happen behind the scenes.
And that leaves us with one last, really important question to think about. We have this amazing vision for a cleaner, smarter, more advanced future. But that future is built out of physical stuff. The challenge for all of us is going to be figuring out how we source, use, and recycle these critical elements, like silver, to make sure that vision can actually become a reality.